particular moment in time. I wanted to start off with Mohamed Kudus, actually, because Chelsea have been also linked to him. We know Chelsea have an interest. And it had been reported by Simon Phillips, and his words were, I want to make sure I read these correctly. He retweeted this from Darko, who is in the know to do with Chelsea, that Kudus wants Chelsea. If we don't pay up, he won't come. It's as simple as that. West Ham still will not accept any kind of swap deals. So it appears Chelsea are leading the race in terms of attracting the player, but Spurs are entering the mix because so far Chelsea haven't offered the money to get it done, and there is no word yet officially that he only has one choice. It appears that Kudus just wants out of West Ham, so is open to options. But I mean, Chelsea, we know he'd be a good addition. Spurs, can we see him pulling this off?
Not against Chelsea, no. If they were battling against like a Villa or a Newcastle, then maybe, but not against Chelsea. I think Chelsea know exactly what they want out of Kudus. I don't think it's necessarily the correct move, especially if they're getting this Bynum Gittins in. So I feel like Kudus, I know he can play off the right, but I do think he's better off the left. But I just don't think. I think it's just a logical thing. When it comes down to it, Tottenham don't win many transfer battles against Chelsea. Kudus, I think it'll just be another one of the same. Because the Tottenham move is relying on things to happen that haven't happened yet. I don't think Kudus moves to West Ham until Heung-min Son goes. But we've got no idea if Heung-min Son's going. You know, people think he is, but I've heard not on that yet. So we're looking at that going, well, if Son's staying, and they've just signed Tell, who also wants to play on the left, there's not really. Why would you buy another left winger to go on top of that? So I look at it and I think that if it comes down to it, it'll be Chelsea. Chelsea have needed to get a left winger for obviously since Sancho's gone. I know they've got Bynum Gittins, but getting another option in there like a Kudus prevents them from having to use a Madueke or a Neto. So I think that's just a logical move to get Kudus in through the door. It takes a bit of pressure off Bynum Gittins as well, who's very young, still got a lot of raw attributes about him. So if you can bring in a Kudus who's got the Premier League experience, who has shown it in glimpses and moments that he can perform to a high level in the league, it probably gives Bynum Gittins just that little bit of security. And maybe, like to fire Madueke and Neto's arse to keep performing, otherwise Kudus will take their spot. But I just don't think he's going to go Tottenham over Chelsea. I don't think any player makes that choice.
The only thing I'll probably push back on is I don't see Kudus playing on the left for Chelsea. I see him more either in the centre where Palmer is, but let's be honest, no one's going to displace Palmer, or on the right where either Madueke is going to play there or possibly Neto, but it looks like Neto's going to be playing on the left. I think I can see the signing happening for Tottenham, but like Tom said, we've seen it with Willian. We've seen it with multiple other players. When Chelsea comes knocking and Tottenham's linked to a player, every player goes to Chelsea. It's as simple as Tottenham is just not as big as Chelsea. And I feel as though both clubs will offer him game time, which he wants. But I don't think Kudus will necessarily play on that left-hand side. I think for me, it'll be perfect for him to play on that right. Just off the right hand side, stretching the play, bring a little bit more dynamism on that right, and a lot more directness compared to Madueke, and a lot more firepower, which they need. But yeah, I just
even if it's on the right though, like I just run on the left because they've got Madueke in there. So that if he's on the right and Neto is going to be deployed off the left, I'm sorry. In a pound for pound battle with who's the better winger out of Mohamed Kudus or Noni Madueke, I know who I'm picking. I'm not even the biggest Kudus fan, but I pick Kudus every day of the week. So if he's playing on the wing, he's going to start either one, and he gives that security.
And also with Tottenham, they've already got Maddison there, which I don't see him being second choice anymore. They've got Kulusevski, who's arguably, or if not, their best attacker. He's not displacing either of them, I don't think. And on the left, I don't know if they're going to be playing Son there. They just signed Tell, who'll be very good off the left. It seems more likely that Chelsea will be the better option for him compared to Tottenham, in my opinion.
we have an available spot at right wing. So, of course, it makes like Noni Madueke is not an untouchable asset where he's now locked down that right wing spot going, this is mine, no one's coming. He's not Cole Palmer. So, in the same way that Arsenal want to sign Noni Madueke to be a backup, Chelsea should be looking for an active starter to almost go ahead of Noni Madueke. Because either Noni will be good enough to overtake him, or Noni is good enough to be, we can trust him enough to come on after 60 minutes and do something and dribble around a couple of people. But also having another option and someone who's potentially better than him is the right thing to do in terms of getting Chelsea closer to the top three.
I agree. First of all, I'll say this. I think Chelsea would be... there is talk today that come from Laurie Whitwell. Man United may explore a deal for Nkunku as a fairly late sort of backup option if we can't sign other striker targets. He alluded in that it is believed that there is still contact between Chelsea and Garnacho. Now, as a Man United fan, I'd love you guys to come in and drop 50-60 million pounds on Garnacho. I don't personally see it happening. Big up the trolls for the PR. I agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen. I also think you'd be mad with what you've just spent on Gittins to bring in Garnacho when, as you say, you've got a spot on the right that Kudus can play in. You can also go centrally. I think Chelsea would be absolutely radio rental to let Spurs get him, because let's just have it absolutely right. The Italian's just gone 4-2 up in the full set. Go on, son. Chelsea would be absolutely crazy to let Spurs come in, because let's have it right. If both go for him, Chelsea could get demoted back to the Conference League and he's still picking Chelsea. Let's not sort of beat about the bush here. Chelsea have an option on this guy. I'm almost be annoyed at Chelsea, frustrated at Chelsea, if you, man, allow Spurs to go and get a player as good as this, because he is so good. I don't care about his numbers from last season, and I like output for attackers. I just think he's someone who got disillusioned at West Ham, not very well run, not really a massive future, and he wants out. I think if he goes to a Spurs, if he goes to a Chelsea, an Arsenal, I think Mohamed Kudus kills it. The hype sort of dropped off. But I remember he was a player during the World Cup in 2022 for a year. Everyone wanted him. Suddenly no one really cares anymore, which proves that, like, we've had this conversation many a time, guys, that a lot of football fans just like what's fashionable as opposed to what's good, if that makes sense. People often treat footballers like they treat clothes or music. Like, if it's in vogue, if it's fashionable, they'll listen to it and watch it. As soon as it's not considered cool anymore, they won't, because young people don't have their own minds, and a lot of football fans are like that. They'll just go with what's trendy. Not like you, David. You got your own brain. The other two do as well, but David more so. Shame he's got a shit laptop. But aside from that, it's see, there was a dig in there, boys. There was a dig in there at the end. But yeah, I think Chelsea would be crazy to let him go to Tottenham. But could Tottenham get him? Yes. I mean, they can get him still, because he wants out of West Ham. West Ham are prepared, and this is where I say to your fans, the idea that we're never gonna let you go. Of course you were. He was always gonna leave, and people were willing to give you 80-odd million pound a year ago. Now 100. Now you're gonna probably let him go for 50 to 60 million, which is not bad, but you could have taken 80 a year or so ago. And sometimes these clubs, they can, and I'm not trying to sound elitist, but they hold on for more money, and I don't think the players are having it anymore. Whether it's release clauses, gentlemen's agreements, or what Kudus has done, which is basically go, I ain't playing. I'm not giving my all. You're never going to make the money. Take these good offers when they come in my opinion, and crack on with it. But this year from Jimmy, he says, spot on. Kudus is 1,000% world-class potential. Look, the world class. Yeah, the world class. I mean, let's go back to 2022. Everybody was raving about this kid. Everybody wanted him. Everybody rated him. And I don't think there is an excellent player in there. What I also think, though, if he has another year or two at West Ham, I think the boredom and the lack of motivation and ambition at the club, I think will burn him. I think it will ruin him. You know, I liken it to me physically. I've just got a little bit too old. I like too much cheese and I like too much wine. I'm just done now physically. I could never be what I was. I'm just gone. Do you know what I mean? And we don't want to see this happen to Kudus. Wee here. I hate these new ats that YouTube have done for people's names. It's horrible. I prefer their usernames. Sir Steak Radcliffe would love to send him here. Oh, yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, Man United would like to. Ideally, Man United would rather get rid of our players abroad. We don't want them to be in the Premier League. Ideally, but Garnacho wants to stay in the Premier League. Chelsea have shown interest, and until Chelsea end that interest, they're going to keep getting. They will continue to be linked to him. They've got Chelsea are the ones who have got to end that interest, not the media, not me or anybody else. It's down to Chelsea to pull away from that deal and say it isn't going to happen. On Chelsea, damn Terry, sound out the word. Yeah, I'm dyslexic. It happens, bruv. I hope you never have anything. I hope you don't have nothing wrong, or your children or your family in the future. It's not very nice. Hurting my feelings now. I'm all sensitive. This here says, I've seen Kudus since the under-20s. On his day, he's top 10 Ballon d'Or player. Ghanaian speaking here. Ghanaian speaking here, popular to the contrary belief. He's more of a 10 than a winger. Was mad when we got Anthony over him.
Kudus is a really good footballer. I don't think on his day he's top 10 Ballon d'Or player.
Yeah.
I don't think on his day he's the 10th best player in the world. He's decent, but he's not that level.
Very good footballer. Let's just leave it at that.
He can put teams on his back almost. You saw it with Ghana. He can put teams on his back if he needs to. But top 10 in the world, we're getting.
It's hard to say he's top 10 player in the world on his day when he's probably not even in the top 2 players at his own club at the minute.
I get the point in this. Like, if he plays to his best, he's as good as most attacking players in the world. In that moment, that could be true. Oh my God, he's got a deuce to break him to go 5-2 up in the 4th set here. Go on, my son. I don't know who you are, Fabio, but do it, son. He's lost. Go and do it. Trust me, you haven't seen half of him. No, I agree, we haven't. And the thing is I think for people that we haven't seen enough of him, and that's because West Ham messed up. West Ham's project isn't working. West Ham have gone backwards, and that's damaged it. I also think this is a great opportunity for clubs to get him, somewhere below, top asking price for him. I think he could end up coming in looking to be a little bit. Oh my God, he just broke him 5-2 in the 4th set. I'd love to see Alcaraz go out early because I assume he's the favorite as a defending champion. I'd love to see someone big go out this early. It always makes a tournament great.
In terms of profile, I think they are the right people. However, I'm not a fan of João Pedro, especially not at the price. I'm more accepting of the Gittins deal because I think from what I've seen of Gittins, and I've watched a lot more of him than most people, very good 1v1. Of course I have. What's good in the 1v1?
Oh, does someone watch the Bundesliga, do they?
So I do watch it.
He's a Dortmund fan, remember that, man.
He's got the pace to get round people. And he's not quite him and Sancho are very different types of wingers. And I don't think that the Sancho type of winger works at Chelsea. I think Sancho could work somewhere, but it kind of needs to be in the right system. I don't think the Chelsea system was best suited for him. But with Gittins' abilities that he's got, if Maresca can coach him up and hone his skills, I can definitely see there being a very serious player there. João Pedro, I'm just very indifferent about him. I feel like I don't know a lot about João Pedro, but for 55 mil, I feel like I should know more about you, especially considering you're in the Prem already. If you was from Brazil or Italy or something, I'd be like, okay, fine. But
he is from Brazil.
No, I'm saying if he was playing in Brazil, if we signed him from the Brazilian league or the Serie A. But I watch the Prem weekly, but I've never sat there and gone, my team really needs João Pedro. So I'm very about the signing.
I don't get João Pedro as a footballer. He's that hybrid of football that you have an obsession with signing that never work out. He's not a 9, but he's not a 10. He might be able to do a job on the wing. He's this weird 9.5, 10.5 hybrid, which you've done that with Felix and he got loaned out.
Sounds like
Nkunku was a mix of it, and again he didn't work out for whatever reason. He's not built to play a 9. He's not going to play the 10 because you've got Cole Palmer there, and he can't play on the wing. Where's he gonna play? What?
He don't play up top,
I
that's the only
don't
position.
get it. But for what Chelsea want as a striker, with in my eyes, anyway, you got Cole Palmer. You want Cole Palmer to be your chief creator. You want him to be picking up the ball wherever he wants. Everything should be trying to run through him where possible. And what he needs to excel is someone in the box to play off of, someone further forward to play off of. Joao Pedro wants to pick up the same positions Cole Palmer does. The same positions. It doesn't make much sense to me. Plus, I think like 50% of his Premier League goals at all time are pens. So
70.
take away 50% of his Premier League goals. Scratch them off
70.
because he's not taking the pens off Palmer. You spent 60 million quid on a striker who's got 10 goals.
Yeah, that one doesn't make any sense. As in, I think you're looking at the way that Brighton play specifically as well. It doesn't make any sense. I always thought you guys needed an out and out goal scorer to complement Liam Delap, like put the pressure off of him. But the fact that you signed someone like Pedro, Joao Pedro, who's like Tom said, he's not a 9, he's not a 10. He's like a weird hybrid, a bit similar to Havertz, who we've seen multiple occasions stink up top. I don't understand what the process is, and the fact you're getting more and more attackers. It looks like Kudus is joining as well. Do you guys have enough money to spend that money on defenders?
There'll be another hotel he can sell. Don't worry about the money. I'm just wondering about how it's all going to fit together.
Yeah, but they still need defenders. They still need a goalkeeper.
Ram. Have you not seen our Club World Cup financials? They're going through the roof. Don't worry about money. We good over here. We good.
Well, have you seen